Okay, back, and this time I wanted to go over the adventure, the quick makeshift Dragon's Lair adventure that I just kind of made up on the spot here, and we're going to go through one scene, the first scene of this. Okay, notice here already I put Princess, because you know that's one of the NPCs involved. I want to assign a number that's on the card to, I'm going to put the number 1. Number 1 right there. So if I draw her card, I know that's the NPC I'm dealing with. Adventure hook. Somebody wants something and is having trouble getting it. So what I have here is, again, the adventure hook cards from previously that I picked before was cute and carelessly. Yeah, there you go. Carelessly. The cute princess carelessly got herself lost in a forest, and now Dirk has to find her. Hopefully something worse hasn't happened. So in the adventure notes, I could write, I'll sum that up even more. The princess is lost. And Dirk needs to find her. Dirk, put the fighter. To find her. So notice this is pretty generic. This could be used for any system that's kind of like D&D. All right. So there we go. All right. So notice I already put my chaos factor at 5, right in the middle there, right there. Okay. And on this card, it's dead set in the middle. You don't go up, don't go down. Just pick the cards as is, as the odds say. And of course, you pick the odds that you think are appropriate. So let's keep going down the list here. All right, set chaos to 5. So just go over the order real quick here. I jotted these down. Just get this through our heads here. Number 1, prep your deck. Number 2, set the chaos factor to 5. Yep. 3, prep your threads and characters, which I'm pretty much doing. Generate the opening scene. Your own idea always trumps the words used. That's what I say. Play out the scene using the words on the cards and asking up to 2 to 3 yes/no questions. Apply interrupt, altered scene modifiers. Even those are optional. You don't even have to have those if you want more very straightforward adventure. Bookkeep, list management, and adjust chaos factor. And then take the next card for the expected next scene. Alright, so here on the sheet you have threads. And I'll put thread here. I'll put, here this. Find the princess. I'm going to put a little dot there so I can always check it off if need be. Okay. Alright. Very good. So I got my thread, the hook up here, the adventure hook, the character so far. Again, I could add to this as it goes. Find the princess is the thread that I need to win this adventure. Number 5, scene setup, the chaos factor. So this is a one sheet wonder too. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 8 scenes here. I could finish the adventure on if I wanted to. but a lot of the time it goes to 2, maybe even 3 pages, but we're just going to do it one scene, okay? And let me show you. Okay, so pick a card. Pick a card. Any card. No. Pick a card, and more if needed. Use the I don't know rule. I don't know rule. Let's see. Okay, so sorry, it's getting a little nuts here. The chaos factor reads 1 to 7 expected. My factor is at a 5 for the starting default, so it's expected. So when I picked my card, when I was doing this, because I still did pick cards. Alright. It read, now disregard what you see on this, but it read 1 to 7 expected. Okay. And factor is at 5 for starting default, so it's expected. Okay. So number 2, read description and interpret. Smelling quietly were the words I had. So I think that was the subject. Smelly was the subject, and quietly was the action, if I remember right. And so I took those 2 words. I go, Dirk notices how strangely quiet it is in the forest. Not a sound of wildlife. He smells a stench tucked away, deeper ahead. Okay, so that sets the scene and the mood and the atmosphere a little bit, and gets you a little bit of sensory details. So yeah, description and interpret. So the next step here, read, event, focus, and interpret. So in this one, I got an NPC negative. And this card says, move away from a thread. Well, we're not worrying about that. The one I picked was NPC negative. The only NPC we have so far is our princess. That could change as the adventure goes on. And Dirk possibly encounters, wait for it, strangers to help or hinder him. They would immediately be put on the NPC character list and assigned a card number. Okay, moving on. Next part. Read subject and action and interpret. Subject was portals. Action was attract. So that might have been the next. That could have been well, subject and action. So that it could have been another card I picked just to kind of get the details. If those weren't working, you can always grab another one. Say, okay, these are the details. It make more sense. Again, using the I don't know rule. If the first ones didn't work, move on to the next ones. See if those work. So, read the subject and action and interpret. Subject, portals, action, attract. Dirk spots a silhouetted figure inside an opening between a couple of trees. Something is approaching him. It seems he might have attracted some wanted or unwanted attention. So, portals and attract. Notice I loosely interpreted portals as just kind of an opening between trees. Alright. Ask up to 2 to 3 fate questions or less. Alright. Pick cards for yes and no's according to the chaos factor. Scene set up on card will tell you if the scene is expected, interrupted, or altered in any way. In those cases, use your judgment and original idea that trumps the words drawn. So question 1. Now, just so you know, those cards I picked, they went on the bottom of the pack, no matter what. Okay? Now, this is assuming these were shuffled and one side is upside down. Alright, the other's up. Okay, shuffle them all together. Alright, so don't forget to do that. But ask 2 to 3 questions. Alright. Interrupted. Scene set up on card will tell you if the scene is expected. Interrupted. Alright, I already read all that. Question 1. I asked, is the figure humanoid? The odds are 50-50. That's the ones I chose for myself. And I draw 1 card and look for any yes as a positive to that question. So the chaos is at 5. Choose 50-50. Right here. Alright. And if the first one I get is a yes, well, then that's it. In this case, it was a no. But in which case, I would keep picking the amount of numbers. But since I don't pick any more cards, because it's at 5, it would be no. But originally, I picked a yes. So that's what I'm sticking with, okay, just for the sake of keeping things moving along. So let's see here. And I draw 1 card to look for any yes as a positive to that question. Not only did I draw a yes, but I drew an exceptional yes. Alright, not only is it humanoid, but it's the same species and sex as Dirk. I just filled that in. I just kind of assumed that based on the extraordinary or exceptional yes, I mean. Human, dressed like someone he'd met in his civilized world back in the village. If the focus was NPC positive, it might even be an ally, a relative of the princess, or something along those lines. Okay. Alright, notice I only use the yes or no answer from that card, not using anything else from it. I place it at the bottom of the deck, and I ask the next question and repeat. Alright, so next question is, question 2. Is he armed? Pick 1 card from the top of the deck and get a regular yes with expected. Let's see, so I'd pick another one, and this would come up as yes, but when I picked it, it was an exceptional yes. Oh, no, wait, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. As it was. It wasn't exceptional. The last one was. Pick 1 card from the top of the deck, and it gets a regular yes. So it was a regular yes. And with expected. Okay? And this one happens to be 1 to 9. It's expected, so that's good. Again, any yes is all I need. So the answer to this is yes. So it's armed. It's somebody it's from possibly my neck of the woods. And now this is what we're going to do, something else interesting. An altered scene. So if the card had said, 1 to 6 is altered, this is how I would have played it out. Altered scene scenario with NPC negative. Event focus. He's armed with a heavy branch. Okay? So he's still armed. He's just possibly could beat me, bludgeon me to death, if the branch is hard and heavy enough. Interrupted scene scenario. Okay, so let's see if it's an interrupt. PC positive. And so that NPC negative, it's bad for the NPC. So in his case, it's not a sword, but a branch. Something, so it does less damage. In this one, an interrupt scene with PC positive event focus. He's armed, but he trips. Unexpectedly, temporarily losing his sword from his grasp. Or dropping his sword from his grasp. Okay, so I asked 2 questions. I'll leave it at that. That's enough for me to do something with. I go to the next step, which is to take action. Okay, I have enough information I need to act, considering the figure is far away. The details will come into play when I draw the next card. Dirk puts his hand to his hilt as he asks the person's business. So that's his action. Whatever it may be, Dirk stands ready. So that's part of his action as well. And will not be surprised. Okay? So now, resolve the action. Dirk stands ready and waiting for the NPC to respond or act. His readiness is his action, right? Okay? Bookkeeping. Cross off threads if needed. Add or remove characters if need be. By assigning characters a card number, shuffling those cards, and drawing a numbered card. So, take a look at this here. It's over here. So here, I'm going to write, we have a new NPC. And I'm going to assign him 2. Unknown. Unknown fighter. Okay. So there we go. Thread has not been accomplished yet. Okay. So there we go. So that's the end of that scene. I'm going to write that scene in here, and I could sum it up like this. Let's see here. Let me move these cards. I'm getting in the way of this. That's what makes this kind of tricky. Dirk spots a man in the distance armed with a thick branch. Dirk stands ready. Period. Alright, so that's, again, there's a lot less detail. It really gets it down to the essence. Just remember, maybe any notes right here, maybe in quotes, you could say, it says, state your business. In which case, the next card, the next question could be like, does he state his business? You know, or if you use your, whatever your RPG mechanic you're using, you can have some kind of a charisma check to see if he passes, and to see if the interaction goes good or bad. So, Mythic stands in as a kind of a default, if needed, but you know, it's good to use your, you know, your RPG's mechanics, whatever. You know, it's called the game emulator. So there you go. So that wraps it up. So I would start over. Again, where's my chaos factor? Well, I'd say it goes up because, oh, I misspelled branch wrong. I put brank. Sorry. Things that happen when you're recording. So here I would say, even though he's got a branch, he's still in an unknown force that's approaching me. So, which could be potentially deadly, or at least cause me some damage. So I'm going to put that up to 6. So the chaos is at 6. Gone up. So usually when it's more threatening, it goes up. When it's less threatening, it goes down. But I found doing the system either way, it can screw you up depending on what kind of questions you ask. You want to ask questions when it's in the yes zone, the red zone, that are not going to be advantageous to you. It's not going to be necessarily positive. It's more obstacle driven. So try to keep that in mind, although it's easy to forget that. And if you do, you got to forgive yourself and just play it as is and see where it goes. But that's how you're kind of supposed to do it. Okay, so let's do a quick little example. Let's see if we can do something with the next card just to kind of show you how it leads up. So first I'm going to get a description, and okay, we got jovially, lethal. Okay. So really, I should have just done a. I should have asked a question. Really, that's what I should have done. So let's pick another card. Okay. Okay. Does he state his business? Okay. And the chaos is at 6. So at 1 extra card. Oh, hold on. 6 to 7. So I'd say I gotta assign the odds. So the odds are 50-50 again. It's easy to keep going back to the 50-50. But since we're at 6 to 7, go up 1 card. So it's likely. It's likely. So all I gotta do is get any yes. Okay, how's the first card? Okay, no. I still got to keep going, so I keep going because I got to pick 2 cards. Exceptional, yes. He states his business. So it's a good interaction, this one. He states his business. And I can see event focus, move away from a thread. So this guy might not have anything to do with the princess or know about her whereabouts. Description, juvenile, okay. So it's a young person, teenagers or below. That explains the branch. No wonder he's not necessarily armed that well. Helpfully. And then yet subject travel, okay, that makes sense. Action to base. So what we have here is a youth wandering through the woods. He seems to be helpful, and he just kind of explains himself. Again, let's look at this. 1 to 4 is expected. Okay, we're at 5 to 9, so it's altered. Okay, so it's an altered thing. But it's already pretty altered, if you ask me. So the juvenile, helpfully, so he's traveling. Maybe he got lost, or maybe he wants to help me out in some way because he's bored. So again, he doesn't know anything about the princess. But then you have the base, so he does something that the base is. You can choose to use that or not. Also altered. The rules for altered scene. This is what throws a lot of people for a loop. Is the altered scenes. So remember, I can, the next expectation, go to that. I can tweak it. Can ask a fake question about it that makes it altered. Meaning tables, inspiration, scene adjustment, table, which is right here. Remove a character, add a character, reduce, remove an activity, increase an activity, remove an object, add an object, replace an object, make 2 adjustments. So I would say, okay, well, helpfully, maybe he has a friend with him. Maybe he's got a small puppy or something, or some kind of bird that his parents are helping him, that he's trying to train himself with it. The parents are making him do it. So that could be adding a kind of a character to alter it a little bit, or tweak it. So there you go. That's a lead up for the next scene, and then I would ask 2 questions or take action if need be, and it goes on so on and so forth. So there you go. I just wanted to lay this out, and this is how I'm going to be approaching Blake's next adventure. Alright, in Tiny Gunslingers. So I wanted to go over it, the methodology a little bit more, so you understand more what I'm doing with Mythic, and when I use these cards, how it makes sense to me and hopefully to you. It's a great tool. It's a bit of a learning curve, but once you start to use them and hopefully master them, then I'm going to hopefully master them, it will help a lot. It will help a lot. Alright, so thanks for watching. The next video will be Blake's Adventure, Tiny Gunslingers. Keep on solo questing.